Hey guys, I know the pencast was a little bit long and a little bit confusing for this lab, so I want to make sure you're clear on exactly what you're going to be doing in the lab. For starters, you're going to get 4 cups that are labeled in blue. These cups are not going to get poured out. They're not going to get restocked by you. I'm going to restock them, and you're never going to throw them away, okay? These guys are your starting materials, and so it's really important that you don't mess them up. So for example, you're not going to put anything in the indicator. That's the IND cup. You're not going to add anything to it. And these droppers, which yours will look a little bit different than this, but these droppers cannot get mixed up. So the one that's in the A, the acid, has to stay always in the acid. And the one that's in the B, that's the base, has to always stay in the base. And the one that's in the unknown has to always stay in the unknown. Don't mix them up. You're also going to be working with several more cups that are labeled like this. One is labeled with just indicator. That's going to be our control. It's going to remind us what neutral looks like, because the indicator is neutral right now, and we want to always remember what does neutral look like so that when we need to get back to it, we can do that. The second cup is indicator plus acid. Third cup is indicator plus base. The fourth cup is indicator with acid and base. You're going to neutralize the acid with some base. And the last one is indicator plus unknown. So let me move these guys over so you can see them all. Let me walk you through what you're going to do. First of all, you're going to add 10 milliliters of indicator to each one of these cups. So 10 milliliters of indicator to this one, like so. 10 milliliters of indicator to this one. 10 milliliters of indicator a little too much to this one. Now your white cup that I give you will have just enough indicator to fill all of these. You won't have any extra indicator because I don't want to waste it. So this should be just about 10. It's a little bit short. So I'm going to add some more. Top there. Too much. So you see how I measure out 10 milliliters each time and put it in there. Now, this cup that just says indicator, I'm not going to add anything else to that. It's going to stay as my control. But now I'm going to take my dropper with acid and I'm going to add 5 drops of acid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to gently swirl it. Notice that I didn't put the dropper into the liquid. That's important. I'm going to swirl it and I'm going to write down what color it changes to. Now I'm going to take 5 drops of base. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to swirl that, and I'm going to write down what color I get there. Now, I'm going to add, this is indicator plus acid plus base. I'm going to add 5 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of acid, swirl that around. Now I'm going to try and get this back to my indicator color. So you can see that right now they're different colors. I'm going to add the opposite, right? I added acid initially, so now I have to add base. 1 drop at a time, drop and swirl, drop and swirl, drop and swirl, drop and swirl. And keep going until the 2 colors match. And then I'm going to write down how many droplets of B it took. So I can keep doing that. Swirl, drop and swirl, drop and swirl, drop and swirl, drop and swirl, writing down how much I'm adding so that I know how much of the base it took to neutralize the acid. So now they're about the same color. I stop and I write down how much base it took to neutralize the acid. Now, if it took more drops of base than it did of acid, that means the acid was stronger. Now I take my unknown cup and I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of unknown. I look at what color I get. That tells me whether it's an acid or a base. If it's an acid, I'm going to add base to it, If it's a base, I'm going to add acid to it. And I'm going to count how many drops it takes to get it back to the indicator color. That will tell me how strong it was. After I'm done with this, I take all of these cups that are labeled in green only, and I pour them out in the sink, and I rinse them out and dry them and stack them back together. I don't mess with the cups labeled in blue. And that's it.